Pooja Thomas with us, and she scored a grand score, that is 195. So, Pooja Thomas, I'm so glad to do this interview with you. So, today we'll try to, analyze your strategy, how you did things your way, and hopefully that helps other students. Okay, so since when did you start studying? Basic question.
I started in my final year of my college.
Okay. And did you do it from certain platform or you used multiple platform? Like what was your source?
So my main source was Cerebellum, and I followed the mission classes. They would upload it the next day. So it like for example, let's say gynecology was 6 days. I would take like 12 to 20 days to watch all the videos because of my class, and I did it very slow in the beginning. So I used to do like that, but I think it helped me a lot. It helped me to um, get familiar with how to approach a subject, and also it was my primary source.
Okay. And so you started from last year. And
Yeah.
like when you came in India, you already had idea कि कौन से subject में क्या क्या करना है, right?
Mm. Yes.
Okay. Do you understand Hindi?
Uh,
Okay. Okay, good. I'll be talking in English, okay, but a little
yeah,
bit
no
of
problem.
Hindi
We can use
here.
Hindi. I understand Hindi. I studied in like Rajasthan, my 10th, 12th, and also I can speak Hindi very fluently. My father was in army.
Okay. Oh, nice. So you are that roaming child.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so Pooja, when you came to India, what was your basic strategy? Like overall, if you have to say in maybe like a little small paragraph, how will you, guide others?
So I would say revision is the key. So my aim was to do at least three revisions for all the subjects if possible. But I could do three revisions for around 11 to 12 subjects. And for other subjects, I did at least twice. And I used to do like in Cerebellum, we have late night PYQs. I didn't miss it. I did it every day. So I would do at night. If not, I'll get up in the morning, and first thing I would do will be the late night PYQs. So that took care of my PYQs. I didn't had to spend another time to
Hmm.
it was not a stress for me that I have to do all the PYQs separately because I was doing it every day. So I
That's
think
nice. So
so that
you're
would
talking
be
about consistency. Yeah,
yes, consistently.
consistently every day, PYQ. Wow. And so you did all the PYQs if you're that
Yes,
consistent. Like you might have
yes,
covered
almost
everything.
all the PYQs.
So,
Yes.
तो इस बार के पेपर में इन क्वेश्चन पेपर did it help you? Were there PYQs directly, PYTs? What did it help you in short?
Yes, it did help me. In part two, I think there were a lot of PYQs. There were some very straightforward questions, like, for example, PCOD. It was very, very basic question. But I think in part one, there were not many PYQs according to me. But yes, somewhere doing PYQs helped me rule out the questions. I did not only do PYQs, I did all the subject-wise tests. So after we complete a subject in cerebellum, we have tests. So I did that. So I think that helped me a lot. And in cerebellum, teachers always tell that you have to learn how to rule out. And ruling out was very important, I think, in first paper because there were a lot of tricky questions and difficult options. So you'll have to rule out. So doing PYQs would be helpful because in the end, it's a PYQ based question. We don't have to write anything.
Yeah. MCQ is must. So, did you, how many GTs in general did you give?
I gave one GT every month in the beginning, and in the last month, I gave around four GTs.
Okay, so overall, it will be around how
Um,
many?
Around 6 to 7 GTs I gave.
Okay, that's nice. And what was your strategy behind giving GT? Like you used to solve GT and
Yes.
then how you reviewed it? Was there some sort of special technique that you did? Like usually
So in the
students
beginning,
do ask you.
So in the beginning, I didn't know what to do with the GTs. I just did it and I just saw what question went wrong and then. But once I was going through YouTube and I think it was Rajit Avan sir, I saw his video. He was saying that after doing a GT, you have to notice which subjects you are doing wrong. So I did that later on. Like I think from my fourth GT onwards, I started noting down the topics, not the questions, topics that went wrong. And then I would go back and I would review those topics again. So that would make the topic a bit more stronger. And in my brain, it would last a bit longer because once we did do the mistake, I think it helps us to retain for a
Yeah,
longer period of time.
that is
So
true.
that was my
So,
strategy.
sort of, yeah. Okay. So, sort of, it's like optimism, right? यहाँ पे
Yes.
गलत होगा तो उतना ही ज़्यादा, it is
Exam में
retaining and good
retain,
that you're
yes.
making
I
mistakes
was
in
never
GT.
scared about I was never scared of giving
Yeah.
GTs to be honest. Because I never considered it like I never thought उसको एक and like I didn't think of it like a mock test, a version of main exam. I didn't think of it like that. I just thought that I am doing some more questions. That's it.
Okay, so for people, who are very much afraid of giving GTs and stuff, I
Mhm.
think they should have this approach कि नहीं ये अभी real exam नहीं है, it's close to it,
Mhm.
and practicing more and more
Yes,
definitely is going to help in the real exam, right? So yeah, mindset.
yes.
It's about mindset, no?
Mindset. I
Okay, so
also did
not
GTs
being
from
afraid of
different
GT.
platforms. Like if I'm studying from cerebellum and I'm doing cerebellum GT, it will be easier for me because somewhere it will be from the notes. But when I do Prep Ladder or Marrow or any other platform, a lot of platform gives you free GTs. So once
Yes.
you do it, you understand that there is a lot of things which can be presented in a different way. And this time the exam was all about presenting the same thing in a very different way.
Okay, so you're suggesting that everyone should, follow GTs from different platforms so that they
Yes,
get used to different languages, different patterns. Yeah. Very,
exactly.
very helpful tip. So giving GTs, not being afraid of GTs. What else? Giving it from different platforms and then revising a lot, right? So
Revising a lot.
like
Yes, revision is the
how
key.
were you?
The more you revise, the more your marks will improve. And I was thinking like before coming to India, I will do at least five subjects, and those five subjects I will do so well that once I come back, I will not like I don't need to revise the whole notes or the whole videos again. I just need to do the short notes. I made short notes for my, especially for subjects like pediatrics. Pediatrics was one of my favorite subjects, and in this time in exam, a lot of questions came from pediatrics. So yeah,
Right?
so I think that was my strategy. So and once we come here, I think in the first 3 months we should complete all the subjects, and then in next 2 months we should do the revision. And last 10 day, if we should definitely revise subjects from the Prof one at least, like anatomy, pharmacology, because these subjects
Yeah.
you tend to forget a lot.
The test of.
And yeah, and your flashcards help me revise, especially pathology very well because pathology was very difficult for me. I would always forget the CD counts, the slides. It was very difficult for me. But your flashcard that you sent me, it was very helpful. And taking motivation from your flashcards, I made my own for pharmacology. So it was very helpful. Like every morning, they will send you notification. You'll go through them. It's done. You don't need to spare extra time for revision of these two subjects.
Yeah. Yeah. I think personally, Anki for me, Anki, I discovered it only during FMGE. Before that, I didn't know, but I did hear
Same.
about that. And that definitely was a game changer because it's like game, no? Like when
Yes,
you do okay 1 minute or maybe 5 minutes, but you keep on seeing that again and again, and it just gets impressed in your mind really well. So yeah, Anking is a very good way. And you also say that it helped you. So I think
yes, it was very
for
helpful, especially
people,
for subjects you need reviewing again and again, especially like patho, micro, pharma. These three subjects, Anki was like very, very helpful. And I still remember there were a lot of flashcards where you had recorded your sound. Your sound is still very
yeah.
familiar to me, that's why. Because I had heard it so many times.
Yeah, I used to make stories to remember better. And
Yes, yes,
they were
yes.
ridiculous stories. But
There was a
yeah, but
village
it does.
story. That was very nice. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
It,
it helps. So I think everyone should make their own stories.
yes.
Okay.
Definitely. Picturize in YouTube. You can see Picturize. It's a YouTube channel where they make cartoons and they'll
I
explain the
know.
symptoms and all.
Yeah,
Picturize. Good morning. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I know what Pixar is. They make like a weird story out of like a photo,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it helps a
Photo.
lot.
So those things help me. Yeah, it's very helpful for me because in the exam, whenever there are symptoms and all that, picture would come to my mind. Marfan syndrome, I learned from YouTube, picturize only, and in exam, if it comes, that picture would immediately come to my mind. And for topics that didn't had on that they were not on YouTube, I used to make my own, like a cartoon. So it helps.
It does help, yeah. Okay, last question. Last question would be, how did your parents react when they came to know that you passed? And that too with such a beautiful, wonderful score. What was the reaction? Describe.
Actually, yeah, they were very happy. My mother, just before the result was announced at night, and it was very suddenly. And at first, I thought that it's a joke because before that, some of my
Yeah.
friends were sending some PDF in my group, and they were just joking. I thought it's a joke too, but it was the real one. And just before this, my mother had prayed. She was just praying that I just passed, I just get 150. And when I called my mother, she was very very shocked because after first paper, like for me, first paper was very tricky. So after first paper in exam, I had told my mother that it's very difficult. I don't know how the next one will go. But second one was good. I was hopeful about second one, but first one I thought it was a disaster. So my mother was praying that at least it passed because it's been such a long time. I was working for this now. Again, 6 months. It will be very difficult.
First paper was really tough, like in general.
Yes.
Everyone said that first paper was horrible for almost everyone.
Yeah, even and
So
the weird part was like when I came outside, people were discussing, and I heard two questions, and they marked a different option, and I was like, "Oh my god, oh my god, this is over." I was feeling like that. I didn't do the recall also because of this one thing. All my friends did the recall. They saw the recall videos, and they told me, "Pooja, you also do." I'm like, "No, I don't have the courage to do the recall videos. What if it's all wrong? I'll just see the result directly." So that's why it was more of a shocking news for me.
how did you feel when you first saw? I mean, of course, there was shock, but that relief, Now describe
Yeah.
your feelings right now. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling very happy. I'm feeling a lot happy that I don't have to go through that 6 months again. That is the biggest thing that I'm feeling because it's so difficult. There's nothing else in your life. You have to get up in the morning, you have to study, you have to go to sleep. Get up, study, do questions, sleep. But it's not that I didn't like it. I did like studying. I like knowing about stuff. But to do it consistently every time, every day, it's very, very irritating, to
Sacrificing
be
everything
honest.
else, just doing that
Yeah.
one thing. Tough.
Yes,
It's
no
tough,
Christmas,
really.
no Diwali. I
Nothing.
remember my mother calling me for Diwali. My mother was telling me like I'm not staying with them. I was staying in a hostel. So they told me you come for Diwali, and I was like, no. If I come there, it will be 2 3 days. It will get wasted. So sacrificing everything that does make a difference. And I hadn't watched
Yeah.
a movie in 6 months. So I was very happy to watch a movie after the. But even before results came, I was not in a very good state of mind. I was very anxious. So that's why I didn't go for a movie or anything. But after the result came, I went out. I watched a movie, and it was like very, very, very. I was feeling very happy. I was like, there are so many good things now.
Okay, so lastly, what would your message be to people who were very unfortunate and unfortunately could not clear this time?
So I'm a very religious person. I would say pray and get up each morning. Um, Try to be consistent. Do as many questions as possible, and do not only FMG questions. Do AIMS and NEET PG questions also. Because this time in public health, NEET PG question came directly. Like there was a mascot Sapna. It was for leprosy, and many of my friends did it wrong. But it was One question, if we had done like NEET PG question paper, if we had solved, we would have got that 1 mark. So I think doing NEET PG and AIMS question would be very helpful. And then PYQs definitely we have to do, and do as many GTs and as many questions as possible. Don't count the questions, to be honest. From whichever source you're getting, Instagram, anywhere you can do the questions and revise again and again. Last 10 days, if possible, revise all the subjects. If not, at least 10 to 15 subjects, please to revise.
Pooja, I can't
That's right.
say that you're such a positive and vibrant person. I'm feeling so happy talking to you in general, you know.
Thank you so
Um,
much. You also have so much positive energy. I remember texting you when I was in my final year, and you responded with such great enthusiasm. I was very motivated, to be honest.
I think when you motivate other person, you yourself get motivated. So that was
That is
like,
true.
that is my secret. I motivate others and I myself get motivated whenever I
Motivated.
do that to others.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff that you uploaded, it was very helpful for me. I remember watching your short, OBGYN series you used to
Yeah,
do.
of course.
Every
Yeah.
day I would wake up, and the first thing, like when I'll go through the YouTube, I'll see your video and then I'll go. By then I had prepared OBGYN already, so it was very helpful for me. And also the flashcards you
Thank
sent me, it
you.
was it was really good. It was a game changer, to be honest, because pathology was very difficult for me. But your flashcards, they made it so much easier. And every time in the morning, they will remind you that you have to do. So it's very easy. I think it's very handy.
I think whatever I did in that flashcards, that was the only thing that I remember. And
Yeah,
by
yeah, yeah.
God's
True.
grace, questions came. From that
Yes.
flashcards only,
For
all the micro questions came from that.
Yeah, this time also in Patho, like I think the questions that came, there were some questions from your flashcards. So I could, it was in a bit confusing manner, but I could actually rule out the options because I had
Oh,
seen,
yeah.
yeah, the flashcards you sent me, I had seen them so many times. It was very helpful.